and welcome back to the Weekly Pigeon Podcast, or, well, it ain't really been weekly, has it? And today is going to be a rather different episode. Usually we're doing games and stuff, but today I want to address some stuff and actually be serious about it. I've addressed stuff before, but we're going to be serious this time, Lord willing. So, I have some points wrote down. The first one is, what will this podcast be going forward? Now, I'm going to kind of be answering these as if I've been asked these questions, but I pretty much just interviewed myself, so yes, I am that crazy. But, what will it be going forward? Well, I hope that it will be higher quality. I've tried to spend time learning a little bit, trying to find where my skill level is at, stuff like that. So, I think it should be exciting going forward for this podcast. I don't think that it'll be nearly a stale feeling, as I feel like I was kind of going in that direction. I hope to maybe have more than just myself on here. Maybe, if you're a returning viewer, Cool Girl Madam comes on every now and then. Maybe we have someone totally different. Maybe we just have a complete stranger on here. That would be fun. The next thing is like, there's kind of three things that I could see this podcast doing and would be neat. One of them is like, a job. I think it'd be fun to be able to do this as a career and not just, as a hobby. If it is, then that's great. But I want to be able to do this as a career, not only to improve the quality, but make it better for y'all to listen to. I know that technically has to do with quality, but I think it would open up so many opportunities that maybe you wouldn't have before, which is my other 2 points, is you could go to different places. I think it'd be neat to do a podcast in the Rocky Mountains, just to throw something out there. And meeting new people. I would love to be able to get this podcast to the point to where, I could have it to where if there was someone that y'all wanted to listen to me interview or whatever, be on here, that I could do that. And it would be fun. Like, for instance, one for me personally, I'd love to interview Hyper Fenton. Now, in all fairness, if he gets a message from a Weekly Pigeon podcast account and it's like, who even is this? You're probably not getting an interview. But that's just some personal stuff that I wanted to get out of the way first because, well, quite frankly, I just wanted to. So, the next thing is, it's kind of steering off the podcast, is YouTube. If you watch my YouTube channel, the CMD Cool Man Dude, I ain't uploaded nothing in a hot minute. I didn't check beforehand, but it's a hot minute. So, and I'm not meaning that, it's kind of the joke that we all do is like, oh, I haven't uploaded since last year. No, I straight up have not uploaded in a long time. So, do I still desire to do it? Lord willing, yes. I do still have a desire to do it. It's still something that I want to do. This is really something I have a passion for. I haven't said that much on the podcast or on the YouTube channel, but this is really something I'm passionate about doing because it's a wonderful avenue, I feel like, for me to share the gospel and to inspire other people. That's what I want to do. I want to help others through this, and like I said, most importantly, get God's word out. But, the next thing, as far as, yes, I desire to do it, but what is the content plan? Do I still intend upon doing gaming on my CMD channel? And I would love to keep making gaming live streams and, videos and shorts, stuff like that. But the older I get, the more I learn, what? For me personally, I don't see a point in me necessarily leaning on just that. I don't have as much of a passion to be a gaming YouTuber that I did before. It's like, the gaming aspect is fun, yes, but for me, it's just difficult to keep it fresh, even for myself, and fun to do something, say, every week, and it not just become like feeling like the same repetitive thing. I want to go in a different direction, whether that's vlogs or gardening, whatever. Like, I want to go in a fresh, new direction. I don't want to throw away the gaming, even if the CMD becomes my gaming channel, and then the direction that I want to go off into is like the main channel. So the gaming channel may not get much attention 1 month or 2 months, but trust me, I ain't forgetting it. I still post there daily. Share daily Bible verses, share, videos that I like, stuff like that. I've pretty much used it like a little social media platform, because I guess that's technically what YouTube is. But yeah, there most likely at least will be somewhat of a change of content. If not there will be a new channel, and if you want to watch the new channel, if that's what I do, Lord willing, I will have a link on there. I will probably share the link more than once if I do that. And like I said, Lord willing, the CMD channel will still be alive and thriving in its own way. It may be that, like I said, I only upload once every month there. Or I just go ham 1 month and I upload, say 15 days out of the month or something. But I want it to be high quality. The videos or the live streams are just thrown together like the spur of the moment thing is fun. But I understand that after a while that gets a little tiresome watching, just because it's like, yes, the fun aspect is there, but it's like, I don't know if I can listen to this dude for like another minute. He has not planned this out at all. It's just, see, no one wants to listen to that. I don't want to listen to that. I can't stand to listen to myself talk like that. So, back to the podcast. Will this be a weekly thing? No. At least, maybe not now. Lord willing, I hope to get back to it literally being the Weekly Pigeon podcast, but it may be the bi-weekly Pigeon podcast. And it's not because, I'm going to be lazy. Or at least, Lord willing, I hope that's not the case. I don't want to be lazy with this. I just want this to be high quality, I want it to be where the ideas are like, okay, I know someone's going to want to listen to this. Not just like, we'll do this, I guess. I don't really want to do it, but we got to have an idea. Like, no. If it takes me 2 weeks to get, or it takes me a week to get ideas, and then I spend time recording and then editing or doing whatever I have to the podcast, then that's what it takes. If it's the bi-weekly Pigeon podcast or the tri-weekly Pigeon podcast, I'm okay with that. I'm still going to keep the name because I like it and I can't think of any other ideas. If y'all do have any, that would be much appreciated. But for right now, at least, it's still going to be the Weekly Pigeon podcast. It's just, we may not have a podcast every week. Like I said, Lord willing, I'd love to have the podcast going every week, because that was my vision. That was the dream for this, was to have a podcast that we could go weekly, where we could talk about the Lord, talk about just whatever, like talk about sports cards or chicken wings, something, but it'd be well thought out and just fun, and still spur of the moment things, because sometimes that's just some of the best content. The Laugh Daily podcast is a really good example of that, is they have points to talk about. It's just they may not always get to those points, because they just have a random spur of the moment, like, hey, this made me think of blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, that's the plan. That's the vision. And remember, this is, brain fart. But I know this is going to be a rather short podcast episode. So I'm going to end it off kind of with this, is, remember, everything I said in this podcast is all talk right now. I've done several update videos on my YouTube channel on, this podcast, stuff like that, but I still have to put in the effort. That's one thing that I want to say is, like, the talk is exciting right now. I'm excited talking about this, but I don't want to, promise y'all, like, the moon, like, we're going to have a podcast on Mars next week, and, like, I just don't put the effort into it. So, still got to put the effort into it, and I hope that y'all tune in every time we upload, or, Lord willing, every week when we get to that point. But, yeah, right now, I want to just focus on putting in as much effort as I can, just having fun, and seeing what happens. That's another thing. I just want to have fun and see what happens. Because, like I said, I feel like this is just a passion that the Lord has given me. So, I don't want to be, like, super uptight and serious about it. I just want to be having fun with it and still being serious. But, just enjoying every step along the way. Whether this is just for a season or this is a career thing. So, yeah. One thing that, and obviously I want to employ in this podcast and whatever I do, but something I wanted to share with y'all is Colossians 3:23, whatever you do, work at it with all your heart, as though you're working for the Lord and not for human masters. It's just that's what I want to do. That's what I want you to see out of this podcast. Is like, hey, like he's actually he's using Colossians 3:23. It's like you can tell that he put work into this. Now, I'm not promising like 4K quality content, but I'm striving for it. It's going to be 4K quality effort nonetheless. But yeah. Now, for some other details that just popped in my mind. It's like, okay, so right now, I think the only place you can find my podcast, you may be able to find it anywhere podcasts are found, other than like YouTube and stuff. That's what I wanted to bring up. I know you can at least find it on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Those are the only two places I've checked so far. So the YouTube thing, I'm probably way behind technologically. I've never been good with stuff like that, but I did finally learn a way to be able to put my podcast on YouTube by my phone, because that's the way I do all this. So there will likely be either my Mr. Pigeon channel will become, or we start a whole new channel that is the Weekly Pigeon Podcast YouTube channel, where you can catch the podcast on there, and maybe even some other little bits. Maybe we'll chop something into a clip and share our favorite moment from the episode. So be on the lookout for that. I will likely make an announcement on here on the actual podcast. And, I'll probably share a link on my YouTube channel and do all the YouTuber stuff. We'll probably have a big live stream unveiling or something. That actually sounds kind of cool. But anyway, I wanted to say that as well. So I think that's all I got to talk about today. I hope you enjoyed it. If you're in the car, keep your eyes on the road. And if you're anywhere else, I don't know, keep doing what you're doing. So, don't forget to keep God number one. I'm the CMD or Mr. Pigeon, or I ain't going to go through that whole spiel. So, peace.